Air raid sirens and explosions were heard across the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv as Russia launched a wave of strikes across the country overnight. Reuters reports at least 18 people were wounded in the massive attack, and 2 people were killed by shelling in Ukraine's southern city of Kherson. Ukraine's military says it shot down 36 of 43 missiles fired by Russia. So joining me now from Kyiv is BBC News correspondent James Waterhouse. So, James, let's start with these overnight attacks. They seemed like they were rather widespread. What can you tell us about them?
Sadly, they are par for the course. I think every other night you will have widespread missile or drone attacks or shelling close to the front line. We heard the siren here. We weren't sure quite what it meant. We learned that there were bombers, Russian bombers in the sky over the Caspian Sea to the east, and that there were 2 waves of missile strikes from the east as well as from the northeast. So we then heard the sound of air defense systems, which caused the windows to rattle, and that's when you know that you have to head to the shelter. This time around, for the first time really since Russia's tactics of last winter, energy infrastructure has been hit. So I think this is going to be a case of deja vu for many Ukrainians. We don't yet know the full picture on casualties, but I think what we are looking at here, just by the sustained nature of these Russian tactics, is that Russia is trying to exhaust Ukrainian air defense systems, where you have a relatively cheap Iranian-made drone, for example, being taken out by a much more expensive Western-supplied missile. And I think, secondly, Russia is continuing to try and suppress the Ukrainian population by forcing millions of people to take shelter at unpredictable times. So sadly, I think this is a continuation of what life is like now in Ukraine.
And that brings me to what President Zelensky may be asking for while he's in the U.S. But before we get to that, I want to ask you about another piece of sort of news that unfolded overnight. Poland's prime minister has said that his country will no longer be supplying weapons to Ukraine amid a diplomatic dispute over grain. This seemed to me to be a rather big deal because, Poland, second to the U.S., really, has been perhaps one of the most generous allies to Ukraine. At the very least, when we talk about the people fleeing Ukraine, many of them ended up in Poland. What caused this fracture?
It's all to do with grain. Now, when Russia first blockaded Ukrainian ports, Ukraine, as one of the world's biggest producers, had to shift it somehow, had to export it through other means. And overland is obviously one of them. But as a result of that, many European countries, EU members, found their markets flooded with Ukrainian grain, which drove down prices and angered local farmers. So there was a ban brought in by the European Commission. That ban was lifted, but 3 countries, including Poland, kept that ban in place. So you had President Zelensky this week in New York accuse Poland of helping Russia, and now we have, I think the language has been dialed back a bit, but I think you've had Poland alluding to the fact that they'll see what happens in the future when it comes to supplying weapons. There has been a more conciliatory tone here in Ukraine, where we're told that another deal has been thrashed out with Slovakia, another country that is banning Ukrainian imports, where they're going to use some kind of licensing system. So I would not be surprised if this isn't resolved with Poland, because, as you say, these are 2 big allies with deep historical ties. But there's also elections in Poland next month, so I suspect there are some politics at play as well. But it's high-stakes stuff for sure.
Oh, James Waterhouse, we know all about politics here in the U.S. and the impact it can have on policy. Thank you very much.